Really appreciate each and every last one of you all for tuning in. The name is Law Nation. From yours truly, we're going to talk about Cowboys moving into Lions Week, matchup, and more. More and more. More and more. Shout out to Kellen Moore. Hopefully he get back to the philosophy of running the ball. Cowboys are third place in the NFC East. That's okay. As the room fill up, be sure to hit that like button, let a friend or a neighbor know where to go when they want to tune in to Cowboys Sports Talk and beyond. The name is Law Nation. Shout out to Cowboys Experience. I promise you, go ahead and take a look at cowboysexperience.com. You will have a great time, not a good time. You will. Take my word for it. Home game, got 2 home games back to back. I believe the meat of our schedule, the hardest part of our schedule is over with. Now it's on to the Lions. What's up, everybody? The name is Law Nation. I hope all is well with you all. I know the Cowboys coming off of a loss. The sky's not falling, right? It is now hump day, the middle of the week, and we got a lot on the table for getting prepared for this upcoming game. Now, there were some news out there. The owners had a meeting, the owners meeting, and Jerry and I think it's Robert Kraft, they got into it. Pretty much billion-dollar fight or what have you, a billionaire fighting club. That's what is going on so far. But it is what it is, right? That's Jerry Jones. We will listen to some of the thoughts of that. And then we were listening to Jim Nantz. He was on 105.3 The Fan. He was talking glowingly of the Cowboys, and we listened to that, right? And then we'll get into the phone line conversations and the matchup. But I come here to tell y'all beautiful people that's listening right now, the Cowboys, baby, the thoughts and the talk tracks of maybe possible having Dak Prescott back will relieve some of the inefficiencies that we have on the offensive side of the coin. The Cowboys, we tired of not scoring over 20 points or over 22 or 25 points. It just don't feel like the Cowboys' way, right? So we got to get to scoring points again and playing sound football on the defensive side, and I think all of that will start if it's not a guarantee, but if Ray Dakota Prescott get back onto the scene, right? Appreciate everybody for tuning in. Good morning, good afternoon, and good evening to all. All right, so appreciate everybody that tune into these episodes. But before we get started with everything, let's listen to a little bit. I think this was on
we had Jerry Jones
ESPN.
and Robert Kraft have a little spat as well about Roger Goodell.
So they had a heated exchange about Goodell's contract discussion, apparently. NFL owners voted 31-1 on Tuesday to permit their compensation committee to open negotiation for a new contract with Roger Goodell. But Jerry Jones and Robert Kraft engaged in that heated exchange. Sources said Kraft joined the overwhelming majority in strong support for the measure, while Jerry Jones was the lone dissenter in the owners-only session, eventually telling Kraft, "Don't blank with me."
All right, so when we talk about this, it's a two-sided situation. Like, we know that the Cowboys get hosed on a lot of calls, right? And I'm not saying that's the only reason the Cowboys will lose a game, by the way. I'm not saying that. But we know it, like, naturally, people, we understand that fight, that fisticuff, is because of the ownership, right? We seen calls like tripping calls. It was 2019. Never in the history of the NFL history that two tripping calls were called on the same team in one game. Never. And it was Zach Martin of all people. And we know Zach Martin is a dog good offensive lineman, right? And it was a bogus call, right? The NFL 2-3 weeks later said, hey, that wasn't really tripping calls, right? But that was a deciding factor, right? That was a deciding factor of the outcome of that game. That was way in 2019, right? Let me see if I can put my chat log up here. But I appreciate everybody for tuning in. We get all of that. And we seen also in the New Orleans Saints game in 2019. Offensive pass interference called twice on a deciding factor, killing momentum. Never in the history of the NFL, offensive pass interference was called on a wide receiver twice in one game. Where do that come from, right? We see, and I know it's going to sound like excuses. I know people are going to say, hey, man, Law just like to give out excuses for the Cowboys, right? Like no other team get hosed like that. But no, just hear me out. Also in that same game, Ezekiel Elliott lost the ball. But everybody, mama, uncle, cousin, on 4K HD saw that his elbow was down, right? And they still said, Saints ball, right? We can't determine if it was a clear recovery by Ezekiel Elliott. It's Saints ball. It's a call on the field. Crazy stuff, right? And we have the nerve of people like Skip Bayless or, Colin Cowherd to say, well, these are the Cowboys, right? The 8-8 Cowboys of the 2019 when games matter the most. Well, excuse me, it's hard to defeat the opposing team and the aficionados and when they send stuff up to New York. But we who close to the game understand that there's a war that goes beyond the general public or beyond the average casual fan. The war of Jerry Jones versus Roger Goodell. Now, here we are back at the same table with the same argument. Jerry versus Roger Goodell. Now, I don't know about y'all, but I recall back in my days, people would have grudges on you if they found out that you are making $1 more per hour or $2 more per hour. They will hold grudges. Oh, man, no, man, I'm getting paid $12.50. You getting paid $10.50? Hold on, I'm going to talk to somebody about this. Now let's move this to a larger scale. And pretty much at this point, I wouldn't blame Roger Goodell. Don't y'all know Roger Goodell is making $45 million a year? Let me repeat for somebody way in the back. $45 million a year. And Jerry Jones is trying to take that from him. And I don't care what anybody say. I know for sure Roger Goodell is looking at it like, you try to come after my money? I got you. I'm going to hit you where it hurt. Because you can't find Jerry Jones to hurt him. But what you can take from Jerry Jones that hurt him the most are these football games. I can't make this stuff up. And this is not conspiracy law. These football games that will hurt, that will squeeze a billionaire. You can't take the man money Although Jerry is trying to take Roger Goodell's money because they don't agree with certain things. But a third of you guys will go over your head and say, oh, man, it's the same old Cowboys. And that's why I wanted to put a muffle on my guy Parsons' mouth, right? We don't need Parsons to go out there. And he thought that he wasn't getting calls. Shoo. You talking about you ain't getting calls, you don't like the NFL? Shoo. They will figure out a way to put it right to you. So this war, man, between Jerry Jones and Roger Goodell, and now Robert Kraft is in the mix, it's not a pleasant one. It's not a pleasantry if you're a diehard Cowboy fan. Because I tell you guys this all the time. Football is a game of inches. And you drop back, you throw a 33-yard catch, and then he get another 15 yards. And you say, yeah, man, you know, that dude rifled that one. And then you look back and you see the flag on the field, which holding calls are very subjective. You can call it on every play. But it appears, and I promise you guys, I'm not saying that that's the only reason why the Dallas Cowboys lose. But when you put it into the hands of someone that don't have no consequences nor repercussions, if they say hold him, flag on Tyler Smith, even if he had his hands inside, even when we can clearly see it, I'm just making this up right now, right? Just giving you guys a preview. And you can see, all right, man, there ain't no hole. There's nothing you can do about it. There's nothing. It erased a 45, a 50-yard play, and the 4-ladder, the 3-ladder network will not talk about it. They would say, the Cowboys are trash. They are who we thought they are. Accident waiting to happen. You know, it reminds me of a movie, Shawshank Redemption, right? They were using those guys for cheap labor, right? The prisoners in that prison, right? And they wanted a certain crew to finish up a project, right? And the guy gave the man a box of apple pie, right? And then he was giving pushback, but then he opened that box. He said, oh, okay, I'll take that. Y'all don't think these officials can't be bought? If I'm making if Roger Goodell himself is making $45 million, right? And the officials, max salary is $800,000, I believe. He got enough money to, for one, hire his own crew, right? Or to slide. Oh, okay. All right. You know, what are those officials? The money.
Kraft replied, excuse me. I don't think Kraft has ever heard that word before.
Pardon? Pardon?
And then Jerry Jones said, don't mess with me. And then Kraft understood what he meant. At first, he didn't understand what he meant, and then he understood. The measure then passed, sources said. It wasn't the first time Jerry Jones has been outspoken and opposed to a new contract for Roger Goodell. The sources said his issue remains the same, and that is the structure of Goodell's compensation.
Didn't it feels like Roger Goodell just got an extension.
No, that was probably 5 years ago, maybe. 4 or 5 years ago. Yeah, something like that. But his deal, you know, he was making, I think the last number that I saw was 55, I think it was about 55 million.
Well,
plus
I was wrong.
Bonuses or whatever. So
a year?
Missed bonus.
Yeah.
Yep.
Fine, I'll do it. I was going to say I can't do it. I'm too busy, but I'll do it. I'll be commissioner.
If you
55 million.
essentially
$55 million.
can make me several hundred million a year, I'm willing to give you $50 million a year for sure.
What is that?
In a lifetime?
$1.50 per owner? It's
Yeah,
nothing.
it's nothing. And I'm
$1.5 million per owner?
And I'm going to give you a lifetime access to that G550, and we'll upgrade you to a 6550 lifetime. because he has access to all that. Nope.
Think about this, man. God dog, man. I picked the wrong career. I should have been a commissioner. You know, he's never have to run out there on the field, right? He don't have to put on no helmet, right? He don't have to go through any concussion protocol. He don't have to go shoot through an A gap, stand in the pocket. You know, he don't have to do none of that stuff. Right? He just got to grow the brand. He just got to grow the product. He just got to deal with a bunch of billionaires, man. I believe, and then we know for sure he get more. That's just what they saying that he's getting. Come on, baby. Y'all know that man getting more than $55 million a year. Man, they can boo me. They can boo me every year I walk out there to announce the draft picks. Shoot. 55. I think Roger Goodell's spot in the NFL is to me better than the owners. It's better than the owners. It's better. Every Sunday, he don't have to worry about wins and losses, right? And he got everybody running to the feet of his to bow down to him for TV rights, TV deals, sponsorship, far as, look, it's so crazy. I believe even in the Super Bowl for the halftime, the performance, the artist pays him, right, to get signed. That's crazy, right? I think Rihanna and company, they got to pay him to perform. His position is tied up for only one owner, and that's Jerry Wayne Jones, right? He got 31 other people that loves him. He just got 1 out of 31, 1 out of 32 that can't stand him. Now, I know Cowboys family, I know we can't stand Roger Goodell, but he's in a great spot. Oh, my gosh. And especially, I think he grew up a Giants fan. They're 5-1 now. Ooh, hey, the Giants right now in a great spot. The New York Jets are in a great spot. Both of them. I wouldn't be surprised if they figure out a way. Giants versus Jets Super Bowl, right? Oh, my goodness. He'll be set for life in New York. Don't y'all know how many mafia people out there, you know?
The problem Jerry has is the compensation package and what it is, and he doesn't necessarily agree to that. He thinks he's overpaid for what he does. Jerry, like, man, we overpaid.
Jerry's costing you $400,000. What's the matter?
Doesn't matter. He's a negotiator. He's a guy, but in the end, Jerry realizes that the other 31 owners are going to vote for that, even though Jerry says no.
I would like to announce right now, I'll do it for $54 million. If they're interested in saving some money, I'll take the job.
I'll do it for 10.
54. Listen,
10 million.
54 is the number. They'll save $1 million. Todd Archer, ESPN NFL Cowboys reporter, is with us right now. Good morning, Todd.
Listen, Todd Archer.
Good morning, guys. I'll do it for about 20.
Todd, what?
I'll be the commish for $1 million. Y'all pay me $1 million. They pay me on the side too, some little stuff, you know. Yeah, they look at all of the 30. Look, Jerry, you saving a lot of money, so I believe they should all agree with me. You know, how many people will be working for the? Oh my gosh, it'd be lopsided. Cowboys now go 3 back-to-back Super Bowls. Why, man? Questionable calls, right? They'd be like, man, get that dude Law up out of there, man. He's cheating for the Cowboys. It'd be some calls. It'd be a 55-yard play against the opposition. All of a sudden, flag. It goes back. Make sure I press that button every time. Flag. I'll cheat. I'll be cheating. If you ain't cheating, you ain't trying, right?
What do you make of this whole thing between Jerry Jones and Robert Kraft going at it over, obviously, the compensation package for Roger Goodell?
Well, it's something that Jerry's reiterated plenty of times when you go back through Goodell's history, and Keyshawn hit on it a little bit about how he wants it structured, that he's earning these bonuses, that it's not given to him before he actually earns it. And that's, Keyshawn knows better than anybody in this conversation right now. Jerry loves winning the deal, and he wants to win this deal, although he's now currently trailing 31-1, so it's not looking good for him.
No doubt, man. So that was ESPN. Heated exchange on Roger Goodell, new contract with Jerry Wayne Jones. It's crazy, man. It's crazy. For us, man, it's a lose-lose battle. Let me repeat. For us, it's a lose-lose battle. We'll see how everything triculate this Sunday at 12 o'clock, the noon game. We'll see how everything trickulates against the Lions in Chicago. But be mindful, and I'm going to break it down. I'm not sitting out here crying about it, but it's a difficult pathway, right? It's difficult. Jerry just made it even more difficult. Because we know the aficionados. We know how that goes. And I can't make this stuff up. We going to be getting some, I'm going to be like, bull sugar, man. Come on, man.
What have you thought of this Cowboys season so far?
I think it's been a great success. I know you live week to week, so you're influenced and tainted by the most recent result. But if you would have said that Dak would come in and take over this team at week 7 with a 4-2 record, I think everybody would have been very happy. That he'd reassume his position. So it has the makings. Of course, we know the division now is stocked and loaded, but I think we're going to see a really good run here for the Cowboys, and I think the people should be enthused by what's happened so far. Cooper did a magnificent job of filling in for him, and other guys have stepped up, and there's still so many ways that they're going to get better. I mean, I thought Zeke ran the ball so hard Sunday night. He looked like he was 5 years younger. Pollard, seems to run hot and cold sometimes, but he's a gifted talent. And maybe now with a bigger passing attack, both of them become more explosive. I think Michael Gallup is going to be a big-time second half of the season part of the Cowboys' success. So,
you know who else I'm banking on? Because I know we're not going to go out there and do any trades. And if we do try to trade now, we got literally 31 enemies at us right now. You think that they're going to be like, yeah, man, we going to help the Cowboys out with a trade. Everything, the price of everything just went up, right? They are at war right now with Jerry. There are things that we can't say, but I know for sure. Them 31 other owners, like for example, we play against teams on this schedule that players that we would like to see, right, on our team. For example, Roquan Smith. That's not going to happen. We got to play those Chicago Bears in 2 weeks, right? I think somebody else was yelling out DJ Moore. No, that's not going to happen because the owner of whoever the Panthers owners are, they looking at it like, man, we can't. We got a cease and desist order, man. We can't help. Let's not help Jerry. Let's figure out a way to wedge him out. If you looking at an owner with his back against the wall, it's Jerry Jones. He's a maverick himself. They don't appreciate nothing. These other owners, people think, literally, because you a billionaire to billionaire, that those boys roll together, ride together. No. They don't like the praises that the Cowboys get, the viewership, the aspect of Jerry Jones being the maverick himself, of suing the NFL and ultimately winning in 1996. Let me know how that worked out for him, having even graced the NFC championship game, right? Because we are at war that a lot of people can't see. Paying from Washington. The Washington owner can't stand Jerry. They won't even pick up the phone to talk and have a conversation or a cup of coffee about players or about things that's outside. They're not finna sit out here and bail the Cowboys out. No. Remember how people say spiritual warfare? Well, this is similar to that. This is going on. This is a battle of a battle. A billionaire battle.
Yeah, no, I think the Cowboys fans right now ought to be very, very excited about what's going on.
What level do you think, or what category, Jim, do you think this Cowboys defense can get to?
Well, you got maybe the best D coordinator in the league. I mean, you start there, and then you got, arguably the best, if not one of the top. Let's put them in the top 5 anyway, at the worst, in Parsons. And you've got other parts to this equation that are playmakers and ball hawkers and quarterback seekers. So, and there's youth, and it should develop. I mean, it's. I know that the Sunday night game, a lot of people felt really let down by that result, interceptions, and the inability to stop the RPOs with Jalen Hurts, but they'll get another crack at them, and I have no doubt that the next time around they'll have a scheme that'll be a little bit different than that.
No doubt. That's from Jam Nance. The Cowboys, the next time they play the Eagles, I think that they will combat against that scheme. If you really look back at the game, credit to the Eagles defense. They hit the Cowboys by the element of surprise. I get a lot of beta male energy from Eagle fans asking me, hey, can we get some credit, Law, man? Man, we beat y'all, man. Can we get some credit, man? You always looking for excuses, man. The Eagles defense, come on, man. I'm like, dude, I'm a Cowboy Syndicate channel, and you want me to give you a cookie? There's a lot of beta males, man, in the Eagles land. There's a lot of beta energy of looking for validation, looking for accreditations, and looking for credence from Law Nation to them. But if they want that, yes, Slay is a monster. I like him out there on the edge, and you guys did a wonderful job when the ball was on the short half of the field, right? They want that. No sacks is from Chris. Yeah, their argument is literally, hey man, we a shut down defense, man. I'm sitting there like, man, you acting like the Eagles done sat there. 3 turnovers now, that's brilliant, wonderful. But you got to give a round of applause to our offensive coordinator and coach for giving you a short field for stupid, idiotic plays. Idiotic plays. 4th and inches, we're going to do, what, roll out? For one, not even challenging it, right? If you going for it on your side of the field and it's incomplete, that's considered almost a turnover. But they got a lot of beta.
Jim, I know obviously you're a huge golf guy and doing
the All right, so let's go to let's go ahead and give them this credit right here, 105.3 The Fan. Check that out, and you can hear the entire episode without me pausing and rewinding of Jam Nance on his outlook of the Cowboys and in their future. All right, so what I was talking about, the meat of the schedule, the Cowboys had it on the front end, and as we look down the line here, I really don't that much look down the line, but for references here, sometimes you have to, so it can be tangible. The Dallas Cowboys play the Detroit Lions on Sunday at 12 o'clock, the noon game. I'm not saying that any of these teams is a walk in the park, but these teams don't have as much of a threat of the first half of the season or the first quarter of the season, right? I look at the Lions, and we'll break down the Lions matchup in a few, as an inferior opponent. Not saying that it's a guaranteed layup, like the Cowboys are going to get in there and juke that thing and lay it up. No, I'm not saying that. But I don't think that the Lions are in the same room as the Eagles, right? Or as the Bengals or the Rams, or even the Giants, right? So we got to play against the Lions. It's our turn to face the Lions. But you still had to lace them up as any given Sunday. I get all of that, right? And then from there, we had to play the Chicago Bears, Green Bay, Minnesota, Giants, Colts, right? The East Side Harrows, right? We got to play them on the 11th of December in Jacksonville. And then it goes on from there. So what I'm trying to say here, Cowboy Nation, is that, shoot, Cooper Rush, shout out to him. Shout out to Cooper Rush, man. He took on the meat of the schedule, like some of the difficult games that a lot of people thought that, hey, shout out to Cooper Rush, baby. And Rush we trust, man. So he took care of the Bengals, right? He took care of the Rams. And he tried all what he could, and they went away from the philosophy because they tried to prove a point against the Eagles, right? We lost by 9 points, but, hey, we showed a fight at the end, a hard fight at the end, but we couldn't sustain ourselves. But for what it is worth, 4-2, and looking at what we have to play now down the stretch, it's possible. Yeah, Javon says we can win out. Chris, the YouTube critic, says, Lord, my bad for falling asleep. That was you. I'm going to hit you with the shame. He said, my bad for falling asleep, man. I was drunk and wore out from battling the Eagles fan all night. Laugh out loud. Shut up.
Shame. Shame. Shame.
My boy was sleeping. He was laid out, baby. He was laid out like Family Guy. But I appreciate you, man. I truly appreciate you so much for your love and adulations, man. So give a shout out to him, man, for hanging and staying on that phone call. Can't sleep on the lines? No, we can't, Greg Berry. But at some point, the Cowboys need to push their weight around, and let's not be beta. We don't need to be no beta boys. We need to get out there and make things happen. We do. But with that being said, let's look up this right here. The matchups from what we've seen the previous weeks. The Lions should be well rested. They're coming off of a bye. Not Matthew Stafford, I keep thinking of him. Jared Goff. I'm looking for revenge. Against Jared Goff. I can't erase that playoff game. So I'm looking for revenge. I need for the Cowboys to figure out a way to beat down Jared Goff. I can't stand Goff. He's so far for the season, have 11 touchdowns, 4 interceptions. And of course, our leading quarterback right now, he's 90 for 156 attempts. He got 1,000 yards, 5 touchdowns, and 3 interceptions, all occurred in one game, and that's Cooper Rush. I'm quite sure the news and information that we will find throughout this week, there may be a quarterback switch. As far as running the rock, they have a guy by the name of Jamal Williams, right? 77 carries for 332 yards. He is a touchdown machine. He has 6 touchdowns for the season. Ezekiel Elliott, 94 total carries for 386 yards and 2 tubs. So they got a running attack. I think Swift, he's questionable this week. We will give you guys updates of whether or not he will play this weekend. But they got a dynamic running attack, and their leading receiver also is named Reynolds. 23 receptions, 335 yards, 2 tubs. He's a sneaky type of wide receiver, can find the shallow areas and zones and pull the ball out of the sky. I'm not saying that he's a sure hands catcher, but he's a sneaky guy. And we would have to shut that down and make this team, the Lions, one-dimensional. Now, CeeDee Lamb is our guy. He 33 receptions, 409 yards, and 2 touchdowns, okay? For some, we would look at CeeDee Lamb and say, hey, Lamb, we need to see a little bit more from you, right? I've seen a lot of people looking at it like, hey, is this a contract year for Lamb and Trayvon Diggs? Because we have the right to extend them after this season, right? And by foregoing down, we haven't seen a lot from Lamb of what we used to seeing, at least. We need to see more from him. Right? So with that being said, contract year for those boys if you want to extend them, because you can extend them after this year. Or you can let them play all the way out, and then you'll have that price bag go up even higher, right? Charlie G says, didn't the Lions put up 40 on the Eagles? No, I think it was the final score like 35-38, Eagles won. I'm going to give, I hate to say this, but I'm going to say this, objectively speaking. I'm gonna give week 1 a pass. It's hard to measure a team week 1, especially in this modern day football. Week 1 is similar to a preseason game. It's so volatile, right? A team can blow out a team week 1 and look like they can walk on the clouds, right? Or get beat down and you'll say, hey, that's that team. That's all they are. But you got to contextualize the fact that it's week 1. Not a lot of preseason games. Not a lot of hitting in preseason. Let's see how everything shake out on the long course. Right? So just because you win week 1, you're not going to the Super Bowl, nor just because you lose week 1 doesn't mean you're not going to the Super Bowl type of vibe. Nevertheless, the Lions, let me see if I got their full metrics up. It wouldn't take me long. Their defense, terrible. But like I said, they could have went and regroup. They could have went and regroup a lot during this bye week. They should be fresh. They should have a real clear mind. But they lost going into a bye. They lost badly. It was 29-0 against the Patriots. Their red zone or their compressed defense is better than what I thought when I went back and looked at the game. They forced the Patriots to a lot of field goals. Although the score was 29-0, I think their defense scored about a scoop and score, gave a short area field for a turnover. So the Patriots defense still looked like it's real, right? But neither here nor there. They had their backup quarterback in that game, Zappy. I think the Zappy. That's how you say that man's name. He was like 17 for 21 for 188 yards. Not like he diced them up, but he was efficient enough, and they ran the ball on the Lions. 35 times, by the way. I hope that the Cowboys look at it and say, hey, let's run the ball on the Lions, you know. But you see that overall, there are 30th overall. The defense is 31st ranked, bottom end of the NFL, and their offense is their shining armor. Right now, they're 15th. Let me see where the Cowboys at, because we can't be that far off from them. Let me see, Dallas Cowboys, bam. You can't be that far off from them. Yeah, we far off from them. All right, 26th ranked offense. We need some help. What is
He needs some milk.
This offense needs some milk, baby, to a 26th ranked offense, right? Special teams, we're 10th now, and defense, we're 8th now. Thanks to the doggone Eagles. We were the 3rd ranked defense, and now we're 8th. Shout out to the Eagles for slapping us around, right? But overall, we're 13th. I think that we can improve on the offense now. If I hate yet saying that, but that's the word of the hour, if Dak Prescott is under center, right? We just need to improve in that category. We got to be able to score in the NFL. Solo says, is Lamb top 10? Not now, not this season. No, he ain't top 10 this season. Lamb need to learn how to catch the ball. I think true and true. Don't shank me with the butter knife. I think that Lamb is a young wide receiver that's developing into being the number 1 wide receiver. I think that even Gallup, he's a real true number 2 receiver. True. top number 2 receiver in the National Football League. He's not ready to be number 1 himself. And what we got is Lamb is in that stage, that shadowy place, right? From swinging over from the number 2 receiver into that 1 spot. And he have yet to ascend that place yet, We need a little help in that wide receiver room. And what the Cowboys are doing is that they are telling us that, hey, when James Washington get back, he would help out. But when you look at tapes of James Washington, who having foot issues that's not really turning anybody's head, and his recovery time is way off, is that James Washington himself is a solid 3-4 wide receiver, 3rd option, 4th option. And what we've seen out of Noah Brown, let's be real, man. I like Noah. I like his growth aspect of it. But Noah Brown himself is a solid. There's nothing wrong with being a solid 3rd wide receiver. At best, on certain days, he can be a 2. Yep. Solo says St. Brown versus Diggs. But St. Brown, he when I look back at the tape, it's more of Reynolds who's better than St. Brown as of lately. So so how you manage to say that, but I feel you. Noah is tough, yeah. But it is what it is. I would say this, and when I'm saying solid people, I'm not saying that that's trash. Like, for example, Cedric Wilson last year, he was a solid 3 for us, right? You don't even hear him now in Miami land. They got Waddle and they got Tyreek Hill, right? But I'm just trying to tell you guys that sometimes, depending on the quarterback, depending on how they get you the ball and how things flow, you can be solid for your spot and your role. St. Brown been hurt, yep. Humble yourself, Eagles fan. Look, let them be on Look, they supposed to be on vacation, bro. Can you imagine if the situation was flipped, right? The Cowboys 6-0, and we just beat the team that was like the Eagles in our division, and we on our bye week and we jump into Eagles chat. No, we wouldn't do that. We'd just be chilling, drinking Mai Tais and waiting for the next team. But shout out to them. Cedric Wilson said, my guy Brian Bradford said, Cedric is on the bench. So if he's on the bench there, if Noah Brown was on the Miami team, he probably won't even make that team. You see how that thing goes? So that's how the roster break down. And there's no shade, salt at my dog, Noah Brown. That's just how it goes from there as far as the flow of wide receivers. All right, so, and this is the injury report. Swift, he's questionable. Charles Harris, he's questionable. And DJ Chark, he's questionable. So they got a slew of injuries to hit them with the buzzsaw. And if we slide up on this list right here, Rico, he's on IR, semi-IR. Schultz, I don't think the Schultz will play, but if he do play, it is a question to be thinking of, hey, do you slow down what you have out of the young group? Ferguson, is this the name that 105.3 coined? Ferguson. Here we go. Jay Versick says, I think CD still needs a wide receiver 1 to help him develop. JJ and Thielen and Chase is from the same college. Lamb still need leadership and to help him. Yeah, like, Jay Versick, that's a great observation. Like, let's be for real. Like, a prime example was the team that we just played. A.J. Brown and Devontae Smith. Now, I don't think that the Eagles looked at Devontae Smith and said, all right, man, you're not a number 1. They drafted him to be a number 1. But it'll be foolish to say, all right, I'm only going to give him that spot and we don't need no other help around him. No, they went and spent $100 million, right, for A.J. Brown to help ease Devontae Smith in, right? and not put all of the food on the table for one wide receiver. The Cowboys did the reverse hustle, right? And they said, all right, well, we don't want to pay Amari Cooper. We can save some money and get rid of Amari Cooper to help elevate said CeeDee Lamb and Noah Brown and, who else? Michael Gallup, who they blindly rolled the dice on. This team would be a whole lot better if they pick up the phone and call Odell Beckham, right? And even though he's going through his injuries of recovery time now, he's recovering. But if he's available, hey, why not? The Cowboys would be foolish not to take calls on a wide receiver like a DJ Moore or a possibility to pick up a DK Metcalf. There's not a person on this planet that can tell me that this team would not be better if they didn't do such, right? Like, we get it. We understand, like, Noah Brown, we get it. Like, I feel you. But if you had the options of, hey, Noah Brown, DK Metcalf, would his team be better? I'm going to say, hey, give me DK, right? Come on. And then even if it's Odell Beckham versus a Noah Brown on your roster, right? And I'm not picking at Noah Brown, but I'm just speaking. Don't you think that the DBs, the opposing teams, are going to give a little respect to Odell versus Noah? Noah's still trying to earn his way. Even the official nodders would give the benefit of the doubt to a wide receiver that already earned his grain of salt versus someone who didn't. As of now, right? Beckham wants $60 million. Dallas not giving that up. My guy Sam Rose says DK is washed. It's Fihoko season. Oh my gosh, man! And Beckham wants $60 million. Dallas not giving him that Gallup's money. Nah. Matter of fact, I want Roger Goodell's money. I don't think I'm getting that either, right? So the longer he's on the market and the further the season goes into details, that $60 million dissipate, right? He ain't getting $60 million now. I don't think he's getting that. All right, let's pull up this other report and we'll open up the phones. Appreciate everybody for tuning in. I'll word for a second, man. We only had like 5 people in here, man. I appreciate y'all for jumping in. Now, what changed? Did y'all get the notification? Let me know. And before I pull up this other point, let me know if y'all got the notification that I went live, or let me know if there's any other important news out there. And let's jump into this commercial break.
Let the Cowboys Experience introduce you to a whole new way to enjoy a Cowboys football weekend. Experience the ultimate Cowboys player and fan event at Toyota Music Factory on the Texas Lottery Plaza, making lasting memories by booking at cowboysexperience.com today.
817-888-1726. That's the hotline for Cowboys Experience. Be sure to check us out. We got a home game this weekend. And don't do us like y'all did week 1, right? After we lost to the Bucs, we had an event out there. We had some major sponsors and everything, and only a spoonful of Cowboy fans showed up. I want everybody to show up, win, lose, or draw. And then we end up beating the Bengals, and then everybody start rolling and putting their gear back on. So, hey, man, come on, baby, Cowboy Nation for life. Look, let's not be fickle fans, right? Let's get out there to these events and meet and greet. We're going to have a slew of guys out there, a Hall of Famer. So call that number. Get your tail out there, especially if you in the DF Dub, baby. Come on out there, man. Don't let one loss deter you. Come on. Some people be like, man, I'm ready to fight. I'm ready to roll with my boys. And then when they hit it, hey, man, I appreciate y'all, man. I'm getting up out of here, man. Hey, man. They start taking their outfits out, taking off of the Cowboys hats and shirts and everything, man. Hey, man, I'm a Cowboy fan, but not a diehard Cowboy fan, you know? Yes, indeed, man. Oh, my goodness. All right, so let's break this down, this team matchup. and then we'll open up the phone lines, okay? Points per game. As we all know, the Cowboys been suffering with points per game, 18.3, right? Even since the start of the year, with us only putting up 3, they really hurt our average, right? It's like if you ever was in school, right? And you fool around your first test and you scored a 0, you got every points wrong on your test, and you had a flat-out 0. It takes how many 100s to get it back up? 10 100s? Come on, baby. So it's going to take us a minute to get this average up. Points allowed per game. That's a sweet number for us to see. 34, the Lions allow 34 points a game. Write that down. Let me repeat this again. The Lions allow 34 points a game. It's like their defense is voided, you know? So this should be a get back, a health healing type of game if we don't have any major injuries, right? Oh, 4 100s, man. It feel like 10 100s. But 4 100s, if you scored a 0, it takes 4 100s to get it back. So we're going to have to get it back, baby. Got to get it back. All right, so total yards allowed, 423 yards allowed. Well, in math world, we would have to add and update that number, right? You round up since it's above, is it 5 or more? So it's 424 yards allowed for the Lions. Okay, we right at 311 total yards allowed. And you see the yards pass, and you see the yards rushing. So this should be a game that we can run and pass on the Lions, right? And yards allowed rushing for the Cowboys. I think that a good team goes on streaks of not allowing 100-yard rushing on defense. And we got to get that number down, baby. We did good against the Lions on it. We did good against the Rams, not the Lions, but the Rams. We only allowed 38 yards rushing, right? So if we can get the Lions down to maybe 60 yards, I would take that, right? But we got to figure out a way to get that number down from 118. You know, let's see. Total yards allowed. Oh, my bad. I'm reading it backwards. I apologize. 120, I meant to say. We got to get that down from 120 to 80. I would wish that we can get that yards allowed to 1. Instead of 120, I wish we can get it down to maybe for the year. Instead of allowing 120, let me see what would be a good number. 65. I'm greedy. I want to be lower than 65, but that would be hard for us to do. I will settle with 80 yards. Let's do that. Yards allowed would be 80 yards. How about that? Yards allowed passing. I can live with 208. 208 yards allowed passing for our Cowboys. James got the right number for me. Appreciate you, James. 70 to 80 yards. 70 to 80 yards. If we hold teams to 70 to 80 yards rushing, we're winning. We winning. We taking this thing all the way down through a whole bunch of good stuff. I don't mind us allowing 208 yards in the air. Okay? All right, I got Chris with the super chat. He says, this is not a good game for Dak to come back because if he lays an egg against this defense, it's going to get ugly in Dallas. This is a trap game for Dak. No. Chris, I look at it different. Now, thank you for your super chat. Who, Mike Jones, appreciate you for subscribing on the Twitch. Appreciate you. Here's what I got, Chris. I truly believe that the Cowboys, if they stick to the formula, right? I just said that Zappe, what's his name? Bailey Zappe for the Patriots. He went 17 for 21, and they ran the ball against, let me see if I can pull this up. ESPN, let's go week 5. Patriots, where are you, Patriots? Here we go. Let's go box score. Okay, let's go to Patriots. Yeah, 17 for 21, 188 yards. His QBR was 24.8. That's terrible. 1 tub, one interception. I think that Dak Prescott can give us that, but better, right? But 17 for 21, 188 yards. They would crucify Dak for that, though. You know, that's just how the media will do. Like, he couldn't get over 220 yards, but that's just how it goes, right? Paying this man $40 million. He literally can't have this type of game. And I said before, he can't even have the type of game to go 15 for 25 for 155 yards. And that's what Jalen Hurts had last week. Even if he go for that, they would figure out ways to point at that and say, hey, man, that's not a good quarterback stat. But it's a good quarterback stat for the Eagles, right? Neither here nor there. 35 carries collectively, 176 yards. This is the type of game I want. And if the outcome can be 29-0, I would love that too. But neither here nor there again. Let's open up the phone lines.
Call my phone, hit my line. Only ones who down for real.
Appreciate y'all. 657-390-7391 is the number. Let's get it. Appreciate everybody for tuning in. Marcus Hardison, appreciate you, my dog.
There are 4 participants in the conference.
Yeah.
Please announce yourself.
Come on. As the room fill up, appreciate y'all so much. Cam, you're live from the 205.
Man, Law's supposed to be asleep right now, man. But I'm a loyal supporter. I didn't work the double of them 16 hours, man.
Oh my gosh, man.
But we were just talking in the chat. I said the score. One guy said the score gonna be 35-10. I said we already know the stat sheet gonna look good. I said it might be 42-17. But one thing I want to say is, we talked about it, and there's 2 things I want to point out. How is he going to play with the brace, or are they going to put a glove over that little brace, the little black brace that he's been having on? Is they going to put a glove over that, to protect his hand as far as him throwing and stuff? Because I have seen him play in the glove before when he was at Mississippi State. He played awesomely. Also, I feel like the same schemes and stuff they ran with Cooper Rush, let's run it through Dak and see how that holds up. Because I feel like the plays that they run, it was great plays. But I feel like Dak got more arm strength than Cooper Rush when it comes to passing the ball. But let's not forget about the running game. Remember the first 3 years when Zeke was there, how you can drive a Ford truck damn through them holes that they've been doing. Tyler Smith has been doing a phenomenal job. Let's give it up for our team right now. Tyler Smith has been doing a great job. Zach Martin still doing a great job, showing you why he was considered and still is considered one of the best in the league. Jason Peterson coming, adding a little sauce to that, adding a little flavor to that. Showing guys like, I'm 40 years old, but I still got it. Our team, Terrence Smith. Just think about when we get, some of our players back, some of our starting players back. Just think about how dominant we'll be. Let's keep it simple. Let's keep it balanced. The defense is doing their thing. I want to see them move my boy Parsons around on their defense. Don't keep him at the edge rush, because we know that if they know where he's at every play, they're going to attack him because he hasn't seen a lot of offenses in
Right.
the NFL yet.
Right.
So
Yeah.
they're going to attack him. You seen how they made him think against the Eagles. But if you move him around and make them think, and just unleash a lion. See, a lion, he hunts his prey.
Yep.
And he's aggressive, but he's sneaky. See, Parson is sneaking when he get back there, like, he gone. You feel me?
He gone. Yep. I mean, you're right, man. Parsons, man, he played a lot of coverage last game, and they got him. You know, they got him on a tight end play across the middle there. They got him too. Whereas my guy, Boss Cowboy, and the OC did a wonderful job of showcasing some of that film last night, right? On the fact that how he got washed up inside, or not him, but Diggs got washed up on a play. Jordan Lewis got washed up in another play. Yeah. So Coach Quinn, he pointed that out too in his press conference. So we in better shape than what we think right now.
But one thing I want to say is, Diz has been playing awesome. He hasn't. I don't think he been giving up a lot of yards this year. Yeah, he's been getting washed up on plays, but he's not looking as bad as giving up yards like he did last year. He's actually, on them boys' hips, and then them boys know I'm here, and it's a different player. Same mindset of I'm finna eat, but it's a different player. I feel like we need to throw Bland in there, and let Bland still showcase his talent, because we seen the different when Bland didn't play versus to when Lewis and whatever so throw Bland back out there. Let's give Bland that time, and I feel like man, we can win a playoff game. I'm not going to too much go as far as Super Bowl, because, we've been saying it every year. We're just going to let that ride, but we can win a playoff game. But we just got to take it game by game. Detroit Lions, my prediction, if Dak is fully able to throw and he's fully healthy, then we keep it balanced and run run that offense through Zeke and Tony Pollard to keep our run game going, and passing game. We know we got that defense. We know it's good. I feel like it's 42-17.
42-17? Well,
42-17.
They'll be glorious. They'll be glorious, man, for the Cowboys to get a lot of points and at home too. Look, everything will be nice. You see my guy Sheriff on the horse. He'll be riding the horse all through all of the Walmarts. Yeah.
Oh yeah.
I appreciate you for calling in, Cam.
42-17. Vintage Cowboys. We mad because we lost against the Eagles.
No doubt.
But DC for life.
Let's get it. That's my guy.
How about them Cowboys?
Let's get it, that's Cam. Whoa, Cam. All right, I got Coach, man. Coach A.J. Jones. You're live.
Hey, man. How you doing there, Mr. Law?
I'm doing great, man. I'm doing great. I can't complain.
Well, hey, first of all, I think we're going to be better, but I don't want to be jumping out there saying 42. We got to make sure Dak don't be throwing 50 times in the game.
Right.
Because if we do that, if we get in a track meet with the tracksters, you come up short.
Yeah.
Especially with your quarterback not being ready to play. I'm not saying he's not ready to play, but he ain't got he ain't played in 4 or 5 weeks.
You haven't got hit, man. Sure, you got to let him get hit.
That's what I'm really worried about. And you know what else we need to do? We need to go ahead and bring Jason Peter and run the unbalanced line like we used to do back in the old days. Mm-hmm. Bring in somebody and put him right next to Zach Martin and Terrence Steele and just say, hey, we're going to run at you. Hey, stop it. Do just like the Eagles did us. You stopped that the 3rd down and 2, and they just ran directly at us.
They did, man.
You can't. Beef is beef. It's tough to stop beef.
Yep.
That bull running down the hill, Papa Bull go down the hill. He take his time. The young bull running.
Yeah.
So let's not be the young bull. Let's just grind him in the dirt.
Yep.
Grind him.
Yep. Because Coach, I already know 4th and inches, or even when it was, you could challenge it. But 4th and inches, there's no way you got Jason Peters, you got Tyler Smith, you got all of those big dogs.
I would have ran with Zach Martin, Jason Peters, and would have said, okay, boys, Y'all gave us a dose of that. Now, can you stop it?
Right.
Did you look at the film that you guys displayed how Steele was just grinding Fletcher Cox in the ground?
How you take that away from those boys? That's crazy. Yeah.
And then we take that weapon and use it against ourselves.
Uh-huh.
How do we use it against ourselves? Well, first of all, we didn't run it. We should have said, okay, I'm going to run straight at you. Cox is on skates tonight. He looked like an ex-stripper.
Yeah.
One of the people throwing quarters at, trying to get out of it. He was getting thrown out of the club, man. He was getting thrown out of the club.
Yeah.
And we did the opposite of that. We threw ourselves out. We're like, nah, I don't want to be in the club. I'm throwing myself out. What kind of crap is that? That's coaching, though.
That's coaching right there, man. Oh, my God.
That is coaching, because, see, ain't nowhere in hell. Me and you going to throw our quarters up on stage, bro.
No
we
way.
We just ain't going to do it.
We ain't going to throw no quarters up there.
Quarters in our pocket and look for free. These young cats throwing $8, whole paycheck. No, we're going to look for free, bro. Especially when I got that kind of talent. But I need to ask one question.
Talk to me.
Have you heard anything about Jalen? Is this dude dumb as a box of rocks, or does he not have the skill to go?
Oh man, it seems as if though that was a horrible draft pick. If he can't get out there, you can't figure out a way to throw him out there, man. I mean, gosh, man, that's third round draft pick. That's a lot of meat right there, man, for a third round.
Yep.
You see somebody eat a poached chop ball and they get all the meat on it. You're like, wait a minute, you got a lot of meat around there, man. You got to eat that, you know?
We don't throw that away. We normally suck up on the bone, baby. I'm old school.
Old school.
Old school. We suck on the bone. We don't just throw the meat away. We play with it for a little while. Clean your teeth with it. You know, that's that Alabama, Mississippi thing y'all do down there.
Yeah, man,
y'all don't throw nothing away. Neck bones, that's why they call it neck bones. You're getting the meat off of it.
Yeah, man.
I just want you to find out something on that for us, man. Law Nation, you do a fantastic job. Thank you for allowing us to be in your world, man.
I appreciate you, man. Thank you so much for all you do for me too, man. Thank you. That's Coach AJ, man. I appreciate him. Always giving me objective analysis. But Tolbert, y'all break down what's going on with Jalen Tolbert, man. You know, I'm thinking of like third round draft picks that we could have drafted now. Hopefully, according to, hear me out, it takes 3 years to grade a draft pick. So at this point, and I know we're not into his second year or third year, but man, right now, man, I'm looking at like, come on, man. Come on, you got to get out there, at least get out there to play special teams or something, man. Let me get some snaps up under you, man. He can't be that hurt, can he? I'm like, come on, man. You making us look crazy out there, man. Healthy scratches or whatever scratch they telling us that he's not active. Come on, Jalen Tolbert. All right, I got my guy D from D.C. You're live, the 301.
How you doing?
Man, I'm doing great, man. Can't complain, Chief.
Man, I think we're going to win this week. I think it's going to be 24-10 or 31-10.
Okay.
All they need to do is make a defense and let the ball go. And be natural with it. Don't hold the ball. Let's pound the ball with Zeke with God. And we're going to win 24-10. And I'm a better than Cowboys today. So we're going to win. We're 7-point favorite. And we're going to win 24-10. And, like I said, we're 7-point favorite. And we're going to do it. And all I got to say is, how about them Cowboys, law?
How about them Cowboys? I appreciate you, JD. D from DC, man. But appreciate you, man. Thank you. Salute. That's my guy, man. D from DC. All right, 24-10. Look, put y'all hands together, man, because I think that is very, very, very reasonable. And then if we can score another touchdown, it'll be what 31, so I get you, 31-10, or I would live with 24-10. At this point, I think that we need to patch up some good games together by us looking at this schedule, the Lions and then the Bears, and then we go to our bye week. I think that we need that surge right there. I talked to my guy, the OT, and what he's going to do is he's going to give away a ticket. We were going to do it for this game, but let's do it for the Chicago game, and it'll be for those who give back to this channel, whether it be Cash App or Super Chat. Put your name in the pool there, and we'll draw your name, and you'll be able to get tickets to the Chicago Bears game. And it's going to be, let me pull it up right here, I think on the 30th of this month, and that's Chicago Bears. With a ticket giveaway, it'll be on the 30th of this month. So let's go, Cowboy Nation. And I appreciate those who's on my Facebook too. And what we would do as far as Facebook is figure out a way to put your name in there for those who gave stars. That's the best way I can pull the Facebook names for the stars and members. Your name will be entered into the drawing, and we would do the drawing. Let's say, and then you got to be local, right, for to get this ticket, because I don't want somebody to win away in New York and say, yeah, Law won, I'm in New York, or I'm in Guam, or I'm in Alaska somewhere, and if you can't get to the game, because we can only provide the ticket, we can't provide the airfare. You know what I'm saying? So the ticket giveaway will be, let's aim for Wednesday next week, but your name will be entered into the drawing from this day all the way to that time frame. I appreciate everybody, and let's be locked, loaded, and ready. And speaking of that, I got my guy, my dog from the 815, Brandon. You're live.
What's up, Law?
What's good, man? Chief, everything's good, man.
Oh, okay. Let me go and roll. Before I start, I got a question. Which one do you prefer us watching on YouTube or Facebook, or does it matter?
It don't matter, man. YouTube, Facebook, all the same. Even Twitch. I'm on Twitch live right now, and we also live on Cowboys Experience.
Okay, I just wanted to make sure. Now, I want to be crystal clear. I want to be fair. Again, 2s and 3s, that sound great. If Law talking about it, because that's why we watch Law's show, he gonna break it down. He gonna break down the first man to the 90th man. Right. That's why we love Law Nation Sports. That's why we watch. That's why we listen. But I don't want to hear from nobody else. Oh, we got 2s and 3s, because with your backup quarterback, oh, he must do more. Like, I know people hate to hear this, but we're paying him $40 million. We're not pocket watching when we already know.
Right.
If you don't think it's a big deal, ask your owner, ask your Stephen Jones, because I guarantee you they gonna be looking at the fact we was paying the guy less than $1 million and went 4-1, and our quarterback, our $40 million quarterback, needs to deliver. With that being said, I agree with what you're saying. The formula. I 1,000% agree. I just want to say, and they're gonna let Dak throw the ball a little bit, not a little bit more. They're gonna let Dak throw the ball. So all I'm saying is, we got to cut out these excuses now. Y'all said Dak is gonna step the game up. The offense is gonna take off. We was averaging like 18 points. Cooper Rush could sometimes get you between 18 and 22.
Yeah.
I need Dak to have us like either between 28 points and about 35 points. I think we gonna waltz through this schedule. But I don't want to hear nothing about 2s and 3s.
Are you talking about like the wide receivers and stuff like that? Yeah, I get exactly what you're saying, and I think that what we average like 18 points. I think that we probably we should be a plus 10. We should be a plus 10, so that put us right at an average of at least 28 with Dak. We should be at least with 28. And I'm still not happy with 28 points a game. If we're looking at what the set of circumstances of the Cowboys offense been in the last 3 years, I think that we were averaging right at 30 points. Remember, there was a time that if we didn't score 30 points, we lose the game.
That's when we had a so-so defense. We got a good defense.
Now we got good defense, and we can't find 30 points. Look, we don't have two things that match, man. Peanut butter, no jelly. Come on, man. If this offense could just wake up, baby, we be all right, man. Come on, man. I'm just like, come on, man. They killing me over here. I'm like, all right, killing me. Come on, they killing me over here.
And look, the Lions have been better than they was, but they not nothing. So I don't want to hear nothing about this Dak first game back. I'm grading Dak the way Cooper Rush had one of his best games all season against Cincinnati. He 235 yards. He threw a touchdown. I need Dak numbers to be not equivalent. I need them to be slightly better. Not slightly better. I need them to be like mid-level better, like a couple better. Again, I told you, I think we need to call in Ndamukong Suh. Like, we need to call somebody for this run defense. I'm sorry. I think we got a lot of pass rushing D tackles. I think they're good just on pass rush situations.
Yeah.
I think we need a D tackle. I think we need to let some of these young guys play at linebacker.
Yeah, I think they do need to do that, man. As I'm building, as you talk, I'm building my dog on R. Kelly. Man, come on, man, they killing me over here, man. Yeah.
My last word. I'm not letting. I'm holding Dak to the higher standard.
I know you're gonna hold him to that standard, yeah. And there's nothing wrong with that. I think that here's my thoughts on this. I can guarantee you this: there's no way we should see 3 points out there. Like week one, if we 3 points, then I would do a double crow video, and I'm gonna have you on as my co-host on this show. You know what I'm saying? for that episode.
I'm there.
You did. If we score 3 points, man, I don't care how it is. I don't care who fault it is. If we score 3 points against the Detroit Lions, I'm really gonna have you on as a co-host for this show.
Wednesday, I would love to win next Wednesday.
Next Wednesday, yeah.
Got to hold that to high standard. How about them Cowboys love the show? Dak, I'm watching you, brother. I'm not like everybody else. How about them Cowboys?
No doubt, man. No doubt, man. That's my guy Brandon. He gonna be watching like he gonna be watching like a hawk, you know. But hey, that's that R. Kelly, man. He said, man, what am I supposed to do, man? I'm killing myself. I'm freaking. He said, I'm sick of this, man. Look at that. Shout out to R. Kelly, man. Hope all is well with him, man, at whatever cell block he's in. All right, I got Queen from the 910. You are in, Queen. You are in. You are live.
Hey.
Yeah, well, talk to me.
What's up, Long?
All is well. Can't complain.
Yeah, I just really wanted to call in and give you my score prediction.
Okay. Already.
Yeah, already. I'm going to say 34-13.
Okay.
Yeah, 34 to 13.
Mm-hmm.
And if we can build up that center with a good Mike linebacker,
my goodness,
man, we would be a defense to be reckoned with. I mean, I don't know what they're doing. Why they're waiting? It doesn't make sense.
They see something that we don't see. They see something that we don't see, and I don't understand. We've been having issues even with Barr and LVE in the middle of that field.
Are those the only two people that can play that middle linebacker spot?
According to the Cowboys, that's how they setting that thing up. They don't want nobody else but those two guys. They ain't even rotating. It's just Barr and LVE.
Oh my God! So they need to get somebody in. Yeah, all of us need to get on Twitter and hit up the Dallas Cowboys and tell them to get somebody. And if they got Odell Beckham, that would be just wonderful.
Yeah.
All right, then. That's it.
Okay, I appreciate you, Queen. Thank you for calling in. Let me hear you say it, though.
Let them
Yes, indeed. Let them hang, baby. Y'all here. Y'all got to let them hang. And hopefully, and I'm not dogging LVE when I say this, and I'm not taking away Anthony Barr. He gave us one good game, and that's the Bengals game. And we holding all of these people to high standards on this defense. Like I said, man, we got to improve in the middle of the field. And the linebacker, that should be the start right there. Roster, you're live.
Brother Law.
What's up, man? You live.
Hey, man. I've been on hold, heard so many good points, man. It's just a great show. Can't wait for this weekend.
Say that point while I go grab some water. Go ahead.
Say my part. Well, you gonna get that, man. I think it's gonna be a little high scoring on Detroit side. I'm thinking it's gonna be about 24 to. They're gonna put up like 24 or 27, and we'll pull it out 30, 33. So I'll say 27-33 Dallas. Cold front just hit the East Coast, so I'm slipping out to Hawaii to see my man get promoted in the Navy. Shout out to him. There's a lot of chat about Tolbert, him being a higher draft pick and all. Let him stall out or whatever. I'm worried about the defensive draft picks from later on in the rounds. I'm trying to see Devin Harper out on the field. I don't know how. Like we're serviceable at receiver currently, but I feel like we could get a quick upgrade with some youth from real recent. I know Damone Clark trying to make his way back healthy or onto the field at all. And it's crazy to see LVE ranked number 3 on PFF, 3 or 16 something.
Now what I missed, man? You back at it, man. This your show, man. Roster X Nation, baby. I said, man, I looked around, I'm choking up. I said, man, I need some water, man. I need some water real bad.
I thought you said do your thing. I'm gonna go get something to drink.
Yeah, you did it, man. I said, man, my emergency water was gone. I'm looking around. I got a bottle of Hennessy. I said, I can't take that, man. It's too early. They're like long day drinking over here. Cowboys lost. They got long day drinking. I said, man. But
hey, man, I don't know what you heard, but I just came up with my prediction. I think it's going to be 27-33 Dallas. I think that going. I'm hoping it's one of his more memorable moments coming back, because you know how he got down when he came back off that leg injury. Right. So I'm hoping he come in, put a stake in the ground for his name and for the team and for the nation. And daggone, I don't know if you heard, but just talking about how I know it's people worried about Tolbert and him being drafted at 3rd or drafted in the 3rd. I'm like, hey man, he ain't got nothing that really wants me to look into him. I see Damone Clark and daggone Devin Harper, they on film knocking people down. I'm worried about it, and we got a deficiency in the middle of the field.
Yeah.
So it's hard for me to be excited about Tolbert when I'm trying to.
I mean,
these guys onto the field.
I'm the Kool-Aid champ over here, man. I'm sitting here like I'm looking at Tolbert gang, and I'm sitting like, man. Hey, he can high point the ball, but he lose balance, man. He can do that against South Alabama. He can get separation when he's playing at South Alabama. But this is pros.
I'm thinking Jerry got him on the lower decks of the mega yacht in a hyperbolic time chamber somewhere, sticking him up with peanut butter. He gonna come out in level 2 at some point, but. Either way, man, like I'll be watching the game from Hawaii, baby.
Oh, wow.
I'm flying out to Hawaii tomorrow, man. I'm about to be representing out there on the island.
What part of the island you gonna be at, man? Before I let you roll.
Pearl Harbor.
Pearl Harbor, okay, man.
Oahu, yeah,
Oahu.
Pearl City, Waikiki, all that. It's all one little spot, but
Waikiki. Yeah,
we're gonna be tuned in, baby.
My guy Young Wilson out there, man. So hey, if I'm live and you live out there, just try to reach out to Young Wilson, man. He probably take real good care of you, man. He a diehard Cowboy fan.
We'll link, baby.
Yes, indeed, man. Salute to you, bro.
How about them Cowboys?
Appreciate you, man. The Roster X show, man. I appreciate y'all for allowing me to go grab my hydrations, baby, for the nation. So what we're going to do is we're going to lock this down. I'll give y'all about until one more caller, then we'll lock it up. But speaking of that, I got one of my favorite uncles, man. Uncle Charles, you're live.
Good morning, ladies and gentlemen. Good morning, Cowboy Nation. Good morning, Law. How are you and the family, man?
Man, great.
Man, that's good, man. Ain't nothing like family. Ain't nothing like family. Let's just say this, Law. I'm going to say this to make myself very brief this morning because I just got to eat some breakfast and then settle right on my stomach. But getting to that, I'll never eat that again. Let me just say this. We can't take the Lions for granted. We just can't take them for granted. My prediction score will be 35, 36, 37. I'd say about 38 to 20 or 38 to 17 because we're good enough. I don't have no defense.
No.
Lions. You don't mess with no damn Lions.
You don't mess with.
We can't. Yes, sir. We can't take them for granted. You have to understand, ladies and gentlemen, every opponent brings something different. They don't watch film on us. They're prepared for Dak Prescott. That you can't expect Dak to come out there slinging the ball and get his thumb and finger hurt again. Dak needs to take his time, get his foot up on him, let the running game take over. But mind you, don't take the Lions for granted. They still are NFL team. And I'm gonna explain something to you. You got the rabbit, the squirrel, and the skunk was at the bank. There was a lake right in front of them, but they couldn't swim, Law. But it's only one animal that manned that lake, and it was the alligator. And get across the river over that lake there and get that low-hanging fruit. The only person can eat fruit was the alligator. And he seen them over there talking amongst each other. He picked his head out the water. He said, "Excuse me, what are y'all doing at this bank?" He said, "Well, we want to get across there and get that low-hanging fruit, but we can't swim." He said, "Well, I'll take you over." So the raccoon got on his back and took him over. He said, "Mr. Alligator, what do I owe you?" He said, "You don't owe me anything. I want to go get my friend." So he went over and got the rabbit. Came back. He said, "Mr. Alligator, do I owe you anything?" He said, "No. Let me go get your friend." So he went and got the squirrel and come back over there and dropped him off. He said, "Mr. Alligator, what do we owe you?" He said, "You don't owe me a damn thing, but I owe you something." So he ate all three of their asses. And why did he eat them? Because he's a damn alligator. Just the Lions are a team just like we is, and we can't take their acts for granted. Now, let me say this in closing. Don't be a fool, y'all. I went to my high school reunion, and they sent me a letter saying, "Hey, come with T-shirts, jeans, and tennis shoes." And I went. I enjoyed myself, but one of our friends from back in the day, he didn't get the menu. So he down place with a tight ass Easter suit on, and everybody laughing, but I guess he didn't notice because his mind wasn't that good. And the song came on too legit to quit. And he was dancing in that hot ass suit, and everybody was saying, "Go Steve, go Steve." And when Steve got through, he was sweating, funky, and smelled like an old man bag of razor blades. That's what he smelled like. Don't let nobody make a damn fool out of you. Don't let nobody make a fool out of you. Now, and that's all I got to say, Cowboy Nation. Don't take these guys for granted. And one more thing, Long. They want to know in the chat, what is my favorite Christmas song? Since it's getting close to Christmas. Well, my all-time favorite is The Temptations, Merry Christmas. But my all-time favorite is Grandmama Got Ran Over by a Reindeer, coming from our house on Christmas Eve. Now, there's no such thing as Santa, but as for me and Grandpa, we believe. Now, the goose is on the table. Appreciate it, Long.
Man, my goodness, man. That's Uncle Charles, y'all, man. Yes, indeed. That's my Uncle Charles, y'all. Hey, man, don't be the fool, right? Don't try to pet the lion. Oh, it's nice. Yes, indeed. One time he gave us the analogy of the lion. The pet lion. And the lion just went lying on him. So it goes to show you that, the squirrel, the rabbit, and the other animal that try to ride the alligator's back to get to the fruit, to the low-hanging fruit. Hey, what do I owe you? Nothing. You don't owe me nothing because I'm about to eat, So that's the reality of it. That is the reality of it. So we can't be looking at the Lions and saying, okay, now we playing against that team that's a 31st rank. Don't you think that Dan Campbell is looking over there saying, hey, I used to play for the Cowboys. I know how the owners think. I know how they thinking about this game. They already putting the W in the win column for them, right? Let's give them the L. So we got to make sure that we do not leave no food on the table, Cowboy Nation. The line's not gonna fold up over there. No.
The conference has been locked.
I got my guy David the Blue Chew. Sponsor, you live.
Let's stay up, Cowboy Nation.
Let's stay
up. I just want to say, man, y'all gonna leave my quarterback alone, man. That dude, Brandon, man, I'm gonna tell you, he give Dak a hard time. But we got to realize he was a fourth-round draft pick. He was a diamond in the rough. And Tony Romo didn't really get hurt. We don't know what we be hearing about Dak Prescott anyway, but. We're talking about he needed to be playing up to his money and stuff. How about the years that he wasn't getting paid?
No.
I'm not sure how much he was making at the time when he was when he was starting. 450,000 or 750,000 something a year.
Dave, you turning it into money now. And you know how that goes. He's no longer a fourth-round quarterback. He's a $40 million quarterback, right? And since he got his money, according to Skip Bayless, he's 18-18 quarterback, and then that's what everybody been echoing to me. So what we got, what Dak got to do, regardless, he got to win, baby. And the expectations, expectation will always be that, regardless of what he do. He got to win, and that's the reality. 40 million, 18-18 since 2019. That's mean, So he got to get back out there and get things going. That's how it is, man.
Yeah, I realize that, but I mean, they got to give a man a chance to get going. Yeah, he has had a couple of bad years or whatever, as far as being hurt, being on the injured. But give the man something, though. He's our quarterback. Let's support him some type of way instead of always putting him down. Let's give him some support, y'all. Come on, Cowboy Nation.
I know, man. Hey, I'm rolling right with you. I'm standing strong for Dak Prescott. I'm fighting left and right, man. I remember I'm like the dude R. Kelly, man. What you want? That's what I'm supposed to do. Whatever he was saying, So
they rough on him. They rough on him, boy. I tell you, boy. Yes, sir. But that's all I got, man. I love my quarterback. I used to be rough on him, man, but hey, it's rough being an NFL quarterback, especially a Dallas Cowboy quarterback. So I know the expectation is a little bit higher when you're a Cowboy quarterback. But let's do
this. Let's do this, David. One thing I can tell you: if he play this weekend, we got to have more than 3 points. That's just the
we got to have more than 3 points now. I mean, he got to show up. If he was out there spinning that ball. The pregame at the Philadelphia game, that he got to score some points.
Right.
He got to be a better upgrade. I definitely believe that he got to do better than Cooper Rush. But I think he's gonna be all right. As long as they call the right game plan for him, he'll be good. He'll be all right.
Yes, indeed, man.
That's all I got to do, Law, man. I appreciate you, man. Thank you for being such a great content creator, man. We thank all you do. You have a great day, man. Be blessed. Peace and blessings to you and your family, bro.
No doubt, man. Appreciate you, that Blue Chew, man. My guy David, man. The Blue Chew sponsor. Yeah. Appreciate him, man. And you got to follow the show to understand what we're talking about when we say that. But I got my guy. I mean, he always bring in a good stuff, man. Good passion to this, and that's from the 915. My dog, you live. Talk to me, man.
What's up, Law?
Tough
game last game, but I'm glad it happened so that this fake quarterback controversy is over.
Yeah.
And y'all better be ready. That guy that was angry at Dak Prescott talking smack about my boy Dak Prescott, he's been slighted all this time. He's going to come back with a vengeance. Watch him.
Mm-hmm.
Throwing them dimes. Anytime you talk smack about Dak Prescott, he just comes and he'll show you, just like last year when he lost against the Broncos, everybody was talking smack about him.
Mm-hmm.
Bam! And then he came and whooped on the Falcons. Do you remember that?
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
He just
teams learn. Say, hey,
he just took it out.
Don't mess with that Cajun right there, man. Don't mess with Dak, man. You got that Louisiana spice to him. So it is like that. Think about it. Nobody really. When Dak have those type of off games, nobody the day before the game or the day of the game talk smack to him because they know he get hot, he gets hot,
Exactly, and I mean the worst thing a team I could have lost to, and I'm salty about, is the Eagles. I can't stand them, but I think if Dak would have been there, we would have won. But I'll wait till December to see that ass whooping happen. Sorry for the language. That's the only word I'll use. But I'll wait till December for that. And my score prediction against the Lions, we're gonna put up a dirty banger. 30 points, boys.
Mm-hmm.
I'm gonna be nice, to 20 to the Lions.
30 to 20, man. I'll take that. I'll take it, man. I'll take that all the way to the bank. I appreciate you, Alfonso, man. Thank you for calling in,
yes,
fam.
Sir.
But let me hear you say
it. Let's go Cowboys, sir.
You ain't gonna say it in another language, man. Come on.
Only if you say it together with me. I'll count it off. You gotta say it, all right? You gotta try.
Was it puro?
Here we go. 1, 2, 3. Puro pinche Cowboys. Let's go.
Yes, it is. That's my guy right there, man. That's my guy. Puro pinche Cowboys, man. I appreciate him so much, man, for calling in. He came out to one of the Cowboys Experience event, and we didn't have a good time. We had a great time, and I really appreciate him for coming out to that event. So, man, I'm telling you, man, y'all need to come out, man. We had a great time, man. My guy, man, from the VIP corner, I know he's going to bring in some heat over here, man. From the 860, you're live.
Law.
Yeah, what's good, man? Park, I thought you were falling, dog.
Law is VIP, baby. I'm at work, Law, man.
Okay, good.
And I'm working in the Giants' house, man. So they told me I can't talk about the Cowboys inside because I get too energized. So I had to come outside on their deck that I'm building for them, Law.
Good.
And express myself.
Uh-huh.
But anyway, Law, I'm listening to everybody. Shout out to Law Nation. Respectfully, shout out to Cowboy Nation. Everybody's in a panic about my quarterback. Need I remind you, this quarterback just broke records last year. Lord, do I have to? I just, how quickly we forget, Lord.
Mm-hmm.
I don't understand, but you're not even going back to last year, Lord. What I want out of our quarterback, everybody wants 30 points. No, I want a 20-point game. I want him to stick to the run, but I want Dak to eat those. If they throw that that single safety in the back, Dak will eat that up, Lord.
Oh yeah. Shoot, yeah.
That's what he dreams about. But I saw last week, because I watched the game again, Lord, for the 5th time. I saw a run-pass option call by our OC, and our quarterback totally ignored his responsibility. We had a 3rd and 1, Lord,
He could have walked, tripped, and rolled for the first down.
Yo. Shoot, yeah.
So that is his. That's why they call it a run pass. He was supposed to read the defensive end. That's his only read.
Mm-hmm.
But in Rush, we trust. Rush is the next thing since sliced bread. No. Bring me my damn Dak. Bring me my quarterback. And everybody that's coming for Dak, when I show up for Law Nation's the experience, I'm going to have some words for you. We're going to have to talk about this because leave my quarterback alone. Keep Big D Dak out of your mouth, okay? I ain't a killer, but don't push me, Law. I hate people bringing all this smoke for the quarterback. I just don't understand, why do we have so much hatred for our own?
Man, we eat our own, man. You know how it goes, man. I appreciate you for calling in, VIP, man. So what that score again gonna be again? So I can make sure I got
my score prediction is 27-13. They not going to. Y'all know y'all sleeping. They not. Look, our defense is vexed. Vexed. If you don't know what vex means in your feelings. They are upset. The Lion is upset of what happened last week.
Oh yeah.
DQ. Our DQ is upset.
Yeah.
So no, it ain't gonna be no 30 points. I wish they would come to my house and put up 30 points. You lucky to get 2 touchdowns. We averaged before this 1 touchdown. We going back to that, bro. 1 touchdown and a couple of field goals. So it's gonna be 27-13. My damn Cowboys with a dub. Dak with a dub. Oh, excuse me. I forgot it's not my Cowboys. It's our Cowboy Nation, Law.
Yeah. Let me hear you say it, man. Let me hear you say it, bro.
Well, you already know from here. How about them Cowboys? I ain't a killer, but don't push me.
Yes, indeed. Revenge is like the sweetest joy. Y'all know the rest of it, man. I got MJ. You're live.
What up, Law? What up, everybody in the Cowboy Nation? Hey, Law, just like you said, I heard y'all last night. Like I say, man, you've been talking about it. I mean, just keep crying. I'm going to be crying until they play that number 50. Yeah. 14, he's still going to run into the same problem. And it ain't about, this ain't got nothing to do with Jerry and Steven. This got something to do with the linebacker coach.
Yeah.
And the defensive coordinator.
George Edwards.
Yep.
Well, I think he's
Dan Quinn.
Dan Quinn.
Between them two. And they keep playing these guys. Now, the linebacker for Minnesota, he's a good pass rusher. And y'all was showing some good tape on that. I was like, he'll be better pass rusher because he is a good pass rusher. Use him as a pass rusher sometimes. But if you want that thump, man, that number 50 going to thump. And we play hating ourselves. I don't know why. Because me and you saw in all the preseason, he all played every linebacker that we had. And number 30 all played number 2. That's our downfall. We keep, I don't know why we keep doing this. We got to, come on, Cowboys.
Yeah.
You got to stop playing. You got to, if you keep favoritism, that's why we lose. We got to stop favoritism, man. Play the best player. Come on, man.
Yeah.
But like you said, Dak is going to be okay. Me and you already said I don't get mad at Dak. Well, Carl about next, man. When MJ get mad at Dak, because I know he could play better than that. That's why I get mad at Dak. I don't get mad at Dak because, he's sorry. No. I know he's good. This man should be killing people. I saw it in 2016. And that's how you're supposed to play. Now you got that running game back. And please, come on, man. Let's switch it up. Put number 9 in there. You know what I'm saying? Let us make dangerous. We should put a 30 on them, 38 or 30, about running. We should have almost 200 yards running on them and about 200-some yards passing. As simple as that. And special teams. So all I got to say, Cowboy Nation, do not hate the quarterback.
No doubt,
Don't put him in there. You know what I'm saying? Don't, Steven, Kellen Moore, Please don't come with that stupid throwing the ball 38, 50 times.
Right.
He over the top of his chalk right now, like y'all said. He's happy. Oh, I got a quarterback back. Nah. Put the man in the way so he can look beautiful, have 100-something rating, and he got like 2 or 3 touchdowns, and he ran for like 30 yards, and we whooped their butt.
No doubt,
But
man.
all
I
I want to say
appreciate
is
you,
hit them
man.
likes for Law Nation, and how about them Cowboys?
No doubt, man. That's my guy, man, MJ. All right, so, yeah, I mean, great points. I'm going to bring up some more points after I let my guy from the 972 in, and then he's the last caller of the day, man. I appreciate you, my dog. Talk to me, man.
Buenos tardes, Law Nation. It's Los here, man.
Lokes, man,
Hey,
was good.
I hope you're having a great afternoon, man.
I am.
You do an amazing job like always.
Thank you, man.
Keep on doing what you do, man.
Appreciate you.
Hey, quick point. Just so Detroit, they know they're going to run the ball.
Yeah.
So, and they can be explosive with their pass with St. Brown. So I think if we match up very well against the against the Lions. So I mean, I'm not scared, especially since I still think they're in the rebuilding process of, the whole team.
Yeah.
We already know who we are, and we expect nothing less, Law. We expect to come out there every week to win a damn game, or you know what.
Yeah.
And I think this is going to be a big statement game for Dak and this defense to put NFL on a notice. So I got the Cowboys 32, the Lions 13.
32-13. Appreciate you, man. That's my guy, man, Los, man. Appreciate him, man. Always bringing some good stuff, man, to the table. Y'all write those score predictions down.
Goodbye.
Appreciate everybody. The Cowboys room in general. The defensive side of the coin. I think we bounced back in this game. I think that we will showcase our talent and bring forth the heat to the Lions and let them be the people that's on the other end of asking for mercy, because we should be coming with full power and letting everybody know who we are. And I really think the Cowboys would do such. Appreciate everybody for tuning in. This was a brilliant episode. I'm not going to harp too much on LVE again. I'm just looking at his stat line. And I said last night, to contextualize it this way, LVE have 24 solo tackles, right? Jalen Smith, who plays for the Giants, have, I believe, 15 solo tackles, right? Flying to the ball, chasing and hitting, right? To contextualize it in this fashion, Jalen Smith once played for the Cowboys, of course. Both play linebackers. Jalen Smith is doing that with 98 snaps. My guy, I'm put up his snap count. He have 327 snaps. We need help at linebackers, man. There's no way we can put the lipstick on the pig. I I said this before, and I'm going to say it again. LVE, he's not trash, and I'm not calling him trash. He's solid, right? And the third of the Cowboy Nation got mad at me when I did this film analysis, and I said, hey, man, he's solid, meaning that he's going to hesitate before he hit a hole, right? He's not a guy that's going to lay you out and leave you on the ground like Family Guy, but he's going to get to the point. It may be in slow time, but he's going to get there, and he's not going to blow up anything. And that's just how it goes, Cowboy Nation. Oh, I forgot to read out the super chat. I thank you, TC915. Appreciate you, man. I'm going to get to your super chat. Puro Pinche Cowboys, man. Appreciate you, TC915, for the super chat. Yeah, and Chris, the YouTube critic, appreciate you for the $5 super chat. Your name will be entered into the drawings. Let me know if you're locally, and if you win, you guys get to the chance to go out to the Chicago Bears game, right, versus the Cowboys. But as you guys look at the film and the tape here, it's not me dogging on LVE. Far as for what we can see, we want him to play well, right? We want him to do great numbers and things like that. But he can be better in that spot. Just like with Jordan Lewis. right? And I'm not dogging Jordan Lewis. I just think that we can be better at that spot, especially when you see Dayron Bland get out there, right? Just bigger, faster, stronger, right? Point of contact, he's just going to hit you and you'll feel it, right? Plays through the echoes of the whistle. You don't see this man giving up on plays. This is his college highlight, by the way. But we seen tangible evidence when we was out there in Oxnard, right? We seen this kid in the preseason game. He made some bad mistakes, short-term memory. Make them pay the next time, right? So those are things that I look for out of this team, right, on the defensive side. We can get better in certain spots, especially when you have someone on the team already. It'd be a different story if I'm talking about an acquisition. Look at that boy hit that man real hard. Especially it would be a different story if we are talking about making a trade acquisition. No, we're talking about in-house stuff, right? And we're talking about traits that we can see with evidence. You got to put that man in. And I get it. It's wishful thinking for the Cowboys to go out there and make a trade. It's wishful thinking to think that the Cowboys are going to go out there and use resources as draft capital. But so far, I think somebody need to remind the Jones family, these precious draft picks, Nashawn Wright, he's not getting any tick. We use a fourth-round draft pick for him. We got rid of the big boy Ridgeway, right, for nothing. And he was a high draft pick, in my opinion, fifth-round draft pick? Something along that nature. So holding on to these draft picks, and we're not even seeing Jalen Tolbert. We're not seeing Jalen Tolbert at all. He's sitting there eating popcorn on the sideline, right? We need to see him out there, instead of looking like one of the B2K guys, you know what I'm saying? Like he going to break dance or something. I need to see Jalen Tolbert out there on the field, right? Not a healthy stretch. Nevertheless, it may take 2 to 3 years, right? We haven't seen even Simi Fehoko, haven't seen him with the man bun or the ponytail hanging out of the back of the helmet, right? And I heard that he's on IR, right? Big Sarge says, that was a third. It was a third for Nashawn, right? And a second-round draft pick for Kelvin Joseph. I need to see some of our youth guys out there. But that's just me wishful thinking, right? Dak Attack says Jalen is a bust. At this point, I can't find ground to argue against him. I have to submit to this dude Dak Attack right now until we see otherwise. And James Washington, hey man, I know your foot. I seen somebody lamented that, hey, can we trade James Washington? You can't trade injured guys, man. I mean, you go wreck your car and say, hey, I'm gonna put it on the block for sales. I'm gonna sell my car. It ain't the same. Papa, he says, Joseph getting in there slowly. But I need to see more. All right. Well, appreciate all of y'all for tuning in. Check out CowboysExperience.com. Be sure to hit us up there, and we will have a event this weekend. We'll have more and more details of the time frames. We will be live at Lowe's. That's the event center that's near the stadium if you're in this area. And also we will be at the Toyota Music Factory, and I will have updates of time frames where we're going to be at and of the players that we're going to have out at the event. I thank those who called in. Let's continue to grind to shine, Cowboy Nation. And let me make sure. Let me put a Leighton Vander Esch. Just to measure twice, make sure my numbers were right. Leighton Vander, because I wanted to make sure. I don't want to give you guys any false information. 24 solo tackles, 12 assists. Starting. And then put up Jalen. Just so those some people like to have visuals so you can see Jalen. And I'm not advocating for the Cowboys to trade for Jalen. 15. Come on, Cowboy Nation. We got to get better in that category. We got to get better on the back end of some of these wide receivers as well. Cowboy Nation, let's continue to grind to shine. TC915 says 31-17. Yep. Jabber said he's forgot all about Jalen Tolbert. Maybe they stash him. Maybe next year I'll be like, hey, he could be the second coming of like what we seen from Noah Brown, right? But it took Noah Brown 4 or 5 years. Now we finally seeing the investments. Appreciate you. Thank you as well, Papa. Papa was a rolling stone. Paul, appreciate you. He said, great show. Yeah. And shout out to you, Lady Jessica. OT, I reached out to him about the ticket to the Chicago Bears game. We thought about doing it on the Lions game, but it had been too quick of a turnaround time. And one thing he reminded me, he said, Law, at the end of your episodes, don't take those lightly. Don't take those positive words for granted. People gravitate to you and your words. And sometimes I get down on myself, right? Sometimes I need an extra push, and you will never know where it come from. And he said, Law, man, we always watching. We may not get a chance nor an opportunity to let you know, but we always, man, listening to your words, your amazing stories. And that lays heavy on my heart, Cowboy Nation. Who knows out there, even when you lose, there's a victory somewhere in there. Even when you're down, if you can look up, you can get up, right? There's a victory in there. The great Dr. Martin Luther King, he gave this word one time. Even if you're sleeping on the floor, you can't fall out of a bed. That gravitates to me. So even after every loss of the Cowboys, I try to give you guys positive words. We can't control the outcome of the game. We only hope, wishing, wanting something to happen. It's up to the players. And maybe, just maybe, one word from me can rain down upon them. Speaking of that, it do. I remember when I was out there in Oxnard, I was talking, and then one of the guys was like, hey, I know who you are, you Law Nation. That was Osa. If you don't think that Osa, Odigi Ozu, is not watching and not telling his people and his family, hey, that guy Law Nation, he got the grinder mindset, right? Well, I come here to tell you, somebody is always watching. Somebody's always listening. That's Osa at the practice, right? When I was out there in Oxnard. There's lots of Osas out there. And maybe the word can push them to go a little bit further. In the good word, if a man is willing to walk 1 mile with him, with you, walk 2. What if a man is willing to walk 10? Do you go 20? What if a man is willing to walk 50? Do you go 100? If you want a thing bad enough to go out there and fight for it, to work day and night for it, to give up your time, your peace, and your sleep for it. If all of your desires of it makes you quite mad enough that you don't get tired of it, and it makes you hold all other things tawdry and cheap, if life itself seems empty and useless without it, and all that you scheme and dream is about it, if you'll gladly go out there and sweat for it, fret for it, plan for it, or lose all terror of your mind for it, if you will simply, just simply go after the thing you want, if dogged and grim and besiege and beset it with the help of Almighty, Cowboy Nation, and anyone that's listening, even the detractors, even if you listening, Believe it or not, like Ripley's, you will get it. Appreciate you, Paul. Thank you, James. If I hurt anyone of feelings or their emotions not in check, charge it to my head, not my heart, right? Let's go, Cowboy Nation. One love, baby. But I still say those Eagles got beta energy, man. They all over here. You can't get those birds to fly away, man. But shout out to them. We will see them again. As my guy would say, Tupac, better days, better days. Got me thinking about better days. Roll those credits, baby. Come on. Kelly Price, salute. Shout out to you, Tony. Come on. Yep.
Nowadays, nothing really excites me. Only one of me and nobody's like me. Phone ringing and I tell him it's ice. I got wifey on blinging, she icy. Freeze, photo, please, no photos. No, G's, no, please, no photos. Hit the door and the dome and just whole team here might need some. Still young, but I move like a new deal to my lawyer. If it
shout out to all these super chat. Appreciate y'all. The followers, appreciate you. Sadiqua, appreciate you. Come on. $5 super chat. Thank you. Tony says it's cold. Bird dropping. Yep.
Nowadays, nothing really excites me. Only one of me and nobody's like me. Phone ringing and I tell him it's ice. I got wifey on blinging, she freeze, photo, please, no photos. No, G's, no, please, no photos. I keep giving game away. I put game on layaway. I got paid to play today. I get paid to stay away. I get paid on rainy days. I might make it rain today. I got paid off pain today. Thought it'd take the pain
Henderson,
away.
appreciate you. Thank you, Clark. Thank you for your support. Shout out time, baby. Come on. Theodore. It's in the Eagles going 20-0.
Now you're looking hungry, ribs are touching, need some food.
Yep.
Now you're all on
Let's
live like this surprise, but you was fooled. Boy, get out the way, it's been a day, now you're old news. Now you got the pen and pad, you're trying to take my move. Nowadays, nothing really excites me. Only one of me and nobody's like me. Phone ringing and I tell him it's ice.
One love, Cowboy Nation.
Freeze, photo, please, no photos. G's, no, please, no photos. Nowadays, nothing really excites me. Only one of me and nobody's like me. Phone ringing and I tell him it's ice. I got wifey on blinging, she freeze, photo, please, no photos. G's, no, please, no photos.
Come on, Cowboy Nation. On your way out, be sure to hit that like button still. Let a friend or a neighbor know where to go when they want to tune in to Cowboys Sports Talk and beyond. Even the ice wall, right? You know, I appreciate y'all so much. Let me get on up out of here. I gotta leave y'all with some slow down music, right? Where my slow down? Come on. Come on. On my way out. One love, baby. Put some stars around me, you know. Even where we at, we still got the stars shining bright. Baby, salute. Peace. For that Cowboys Experience information, I'm going to post it right here. There you go. Let me know if you got it. You can get your packages from there. Just tell them you want that law special. That law pack. want that law promo deal, man. We'll take real good care of you. Let the melody soothe all alone. It's dangerous to go alone. Don't let the street lights hit you. Can I be on? The street lights hitting them. I follow. Wherever you go, whatever you do, play it too. If a paper crane can fly, then forever doesn't feel that far. So far, so far. If a paper crane can fly, then forever doesn't feel that far. 4-2. So far, so far. If a paper crane can fly, fly on, fly on. What's that last note? Fly on, fly on, fly on. Man, you're listening to nothing but the best. That last note just goes so hard. It do. All right. One love, y'all. Until next time. Salute.
You have to be your biggest fan. And when things are really tough and they're really rough and nothing's working, but there's something inside of you that says, I just have to follow that.